This one goes out to those of us who have loved and lost. Whether a spouse, parent, child, or a close friend, here's hoping one day I'll get to see you again. When I lost my grandmother at Cut Deep, I remember her filling my cup up to the brim. Yeah, that mason glass jar filled with cubes of ice, every last one of her gray curls in place, staring out the window at Granddad's classic, parked snug on the curb. Cupid couldn't take credit for their love. No, they chose each other every single day. Forget the cute love story. This was about longevity, sacrifice, commitment, loyalty, a culmination of clues into conflict resolution. But take the L, you have Q's and conscript revolution. When I got that phone call she passed shortly after she took her last breath, it was as if a part of my heart withered and died. Our weekly phone calls every Sunday abruptly came to a halt. I did my best at her funeral, but no words could ever curate the defense against coordinated attack of that depression, culling my sacred thought patterns. Then a few years later, I lost my Aunt Lori. I barely allowed myself to grieve because I was too afraid to allow those thoughts to be loose. We didn't even make the funeral. 4 months later, I get another phone call, sitting in my cubicle. Mom's in a panic, frantic, almost manic. Something about this year just feels cursed. Your daddy is dead. Her words echo hollow as I rush home. Hardly cognizant, I step into his room. I see his lifeless, limp body, and I can't believe it. Pulmonary embolism is the culprit. I hug my mother as she sobs into my shoulder. I embrace my brother as he stares in disbelief. My wife squeezes my hand and whispers, "I'm right here however you need me," reassuring her presence as we entered into the worst part of our marriage vows. Days later, as I stared at my father's name written in cursive, printed on his obituary, I desperately wanted to curtail this memorial. Every cubic inch of my heart was broken. What was the cure for this custody battle between my peace and overwhelming despair? This cumulus depression cloud is so cumbersome. Every cuss word I could think of is peeking through the curtain of my lips. But I am the custodian of my emotions. The currency of my current escape lies in the culture of worship. The cuisine of this daily bread has conditioned my response to bow down to wisdom as she curtsies to the leading of the Holy Spirit. But I can't help but think, why? This is more than curiosity. His death seemed to be cutthroat to our faith. Your sovereignty holds culpability, but does your divinity discard our desires? All I know is I trust you. We grieve not as those without hope, but to be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. Our ways make sense, but his ways much greater. Every loss is not goodbye, but better yet, said, see you later.